Hi there, beautiful souls watching. I'm Gabrielle, retired medium in Germany, and I like to share some of my otherworldly experiences and insights with you. So, here we go. This one is just about two little stories I came to know. One I experienced myself, the other one is of a dear friend. But nevertheless, they are, I think, good stories, and they're about acting upon your call to action. So, the first one is my own experience. After I made this step they wanted me to make, to come out and show myself and talk about things that are important for seeking souls, I was approached by more people than I ever expected after the interview at Next Level Soul with Alex Ferrari. And, well, there was this one man writing me emails and telling me the whole story of his life, which I don't need. It's just too much information. But we're so trained, we think we have to tell the other one the whole story so that he understands us. And most often we get lost in our stories and we're just piling up facts and things that happened and whatever. So this man filled up my email um, with his mails. Thank God he was honest, and he told me he has no money, he's in a desolate position, he lost everything, his house and so whatever. But he, at the same time, he wrote in his emails that he had met this master and he had bought that workshop and he did this training and that and so on. And even Buddhist monks came to his house and they were making a wonderful mandala there and all things like that. And then even in the next mail, I reacted and I wrote back and tried to answer the best I could, but the feeling I got was, well, that's a bit of a bragging ego, telling me whom he all had consulted as masters and gurus and whatever, and everything he did on his spiritual path up to now, all the workshops, all the trainings, all the masters, everything. Well, that sounds to me, sorry to say that, it's not meant as an offense, but that's just the bragging ego. We all have it. And it likes to compile what it all knows and all has done. And in the second email, I just bursted out like, well, obviously, all this didn't help because now you're knocking on my door. So, what is it that you want? And he even wrote back, because we all have the answer inside of ourselves and we just don't see it. We have eyes, but we don't see. We have ears, but we don't listen. So that's the human condition, and we have to deal with that and come over it. He even wrote, I cannot feel love, because I told him, you too much in the head, you need your own access via feeling in your heart. And the only time when he could feel love was when he had a dog. Yeah, that's no wonder, because there's this wonderful story about dogs. In the beginning, Creator, when he prepared the earth and everything for this experiment earth with a human body that's developed enough to carry higher consciousness, he called all the beings and animals and he asked them, what are you willing to give and help the humans with that? And in the end, the dog was stepping up and he said, I will show them to be loyal to your heart, to your inner feeling. Even if they hit me and if they treat me badly, I will always be loyal, and I will show them that they should be loyal to their own hearts. So I think I don't have to say anything more than that. I already talked about the mirror principle, that what you see outside, and that's more or less the second Hermetic principle. That's going like that: as above, so below. That's why they built the pyramids in the form of the three belt stars of Orion, or the constellation of the Pleiadians, and so on. This is as above, so below. And you can turn this around and change it into as within, so without. So that's the mirror principle. What you encounter in the outside world is just the mirror of yourself. Like you're in a mirror cabinet and you see pictures you never saw before. You're suddenly very fat or very long. So these are all the different impressions you get from the so-called outside world that is only mirroring back what is inside of you, and we're not aware of what is inside of us. There are some dark corners, and there are some wrong or false beliefs and trainings and education and things like that, because we're so trained to believe in authority, that others tell us where to go and what to do and what is right and what is wrong. If you don't feel it in here, no one can help you with that. If you only don't kill others, because then you go to jail and you have to get your punishment, that's not the right approach. You don't kill others because you know that life is divine, the life force in itself, and you respect it and you honor it. And that's the only right approach to this whole theme, for me, is my opinion, okay? You can have your own. And I encourage you to ponder on that and find your own profound truth. So, back to the man who filled up my email. Well, he already told me he's not able to feel. He only felt love once when he had a dog, but now this dog has died, and he's in a kind of mess. He knows there's something wrong, but he doesn't know what to do. And I gave him the hint, but I didn't know what to do else, because the next email after that, again, he started telling me all that he already did spiritually, all the trainings, all the gurus, all the masters. And I was really kind of desperate. I didn't know what to do with him. And then I got another email that was really very angry. And I knew it wasn't against me, but he had to get rid of the anger that was blocking the access to his heart. So he wrote things like, I show the finger to God, what he's doing, all the wars, and so on, so forth. I mean, really? Look at the war field. Whom do you see walking around there and killing others? It's not God, it's humans. Humans that even think they are right. It's not God allowing wars. It is us not knowing that we are part of the creative force, the life force we call God, divine, whatever, consciousness, love. And it's on its way to learn what is precious, and life is precious. You can easily take a life, but can you give life? So I didn't know what to do with this man. He was full of anger, and he more or less threw all that anger seemingly at me as if I'm a spiritual trash can where to get rid of all his stories and his anger. But I knew it wasn't personally meant against me. So I reached a point where I said, well, I don't know what to do. At the end of my capacity, what else? I even asked them, what can I do? How can I act or help in this difficult case? And then a little wonder happened because I opened up and I said, I don't know how to deal with this any further. So please do something or help me or whatever. The next day, I didn't even expect to hear from this man again. He suddenly wrote another email and he apologized for the anger. So at least he got it that he was in anger, and this anger needed to burst out to at least get it out and maybe open up a little bit more the own access to the heart. So I thought by myself, well, what to do now? And I had just listened to some Sufi music. I was guided to listen to, and it was only instrumental music playing mainly the flute. And in the old temple scenarios, they had a very special setting. At the entrance, you had the drums because the drums work with the root chakra. If you came more to the inner, the Holy of Holies, then you use the flute because it's like the sound of a voice and it can touch the heart very easily. It's the vibration of the flute. And in the last, the holiest of holy part of the temple building architecture, which is just trying to build down on earth what's the plan from above, they always use these little silvery sounding bells that make this wonderful high-pitched note. So that's to uplift you. And I had just listened to that music and it touched my heart, and I don't even know why I didn't get it consciously, but I answered again and hoped this would be the last time because I didn't know what to say to this man. And I only wrote, already forgiven, concerning the mail full of anger, because I knew he didn't meant me. And I inserted the link to the video with the Sufi music. And I thought, that's it. I can't do any more, and I don't even know what I'm doing. And then the next day, again, I got an email from this man, and he said, wow, you sent me that link, and I really listened to the music, and it cracked open my heart, and I found myself crying and bawling out my eyes. Yes, all the pain was allowed to come out now because of the touch of the music. No words, just vibration. And then he could come to the bottom of his heart and feel something. And if you have to cry with some stories or music or whatever, or watching a movie, this is the motion of your inner waters, and your inner waters are just a symbol for the conductor of the soul energy, because water is the best conductor ever. Just think of Emoto and what he did, that he told a glass of water, "You're ugly, I hate you." And another glass of water, he told, "I love you, you're beautiful, thank you." And then he froze the water and took photographs of the structures the water formed when it was frozen. And the bad words, there was just no form at all. It was, everything was torn apart, and it looked like spears going left and right, and everything was kind of a image of destruction. And the water with the good words, "Thank you, I love you, you're wonderful, you're beautiful." They had these wonderful hexagonal patterns of snowflakes. So that structured water, whatever you put inside of yourself, starting with thoughts, thinking bad about yourself, you're kind of destructing your inner patterns, or at least you're harming them. So that's why it's a good idea to bless your water, because it is helping you. And whenever you cry, your soul is reacting, it's moving. That's the sign something inside is moved and touched. And that's the best sign you can ever get. Although we are trained to not cry and try to suppress it and not cry in front of others or whatever because of shame, or you feel weak or whatever. That's all nonsense and a big bag of bullshit, sorry, because it's about the inner motion. So I didn't do that. They were doing it. They made me send the link of the music, and they even gave me the idea to include it in my playlist on this channel, although I had to figure out how to do that. I'm not a technic freak. I don't know anything. I just use the basic and it has to work. I don't want to invest a lot of time into all this technical stuff. That's why my videos are unprofessional, and I can live with that because it's about the message and not about the form, the shape, how it looks like. Okay, so much for that. And the second story I really like because it's also quite wonderful. I have this kind of new friend, and she was very much into Hindu tradition and Indian centers and chanting and meditating and reciting mantras and all that. So all fine, all wonderful. She went for New Year's Eve to some kind of workshop with this Hinduistic or Buddhist group she was in, and she sent me even some videos of the nice music. They had parts with teaching and talking and meditation and chanting. And then in the evening, somebody offered some music so that all the others could enjoy that. And was nice music. I liked it, and I could feel how good she felt there. And then suddenly I got a note from her that she had to leave. She suddenly felt the impulse, although she already paid for the whole 3-day workshop. One day before it ended, she had the idea, or she got the impulse and felt it. I want to go home. I want to leave now. And of course, she had to fight a little bit with herself, with her head and her thoughts, telling her, "Oh, you already paid for it, and what will the others say?" And she already saw some kind of difficulties coming up, so she was wise enough to say only goodbye to very few people she had a stronger bond or nearer contact with. And of course they said, "Where are you going now? You're missing the best, tomorrow is the last day," and so on and so on. And she said, "Yes, I know, but I feel I want to go home, so I'm going now." Have a nice time. Blessings. All the best to you. I'm leaving. Bye. And she went home and she was with herself. Whatever she did, she heard the call to action and she followed it. And then, after the workshop ended, she got a few calls from some of the participants that told her that everybody got sick at the end of this event. She did not get sick because she felt it's time to go and she left at the right moment. Isn't that wonderful? We should all listen more to these irrational impulses because very often they're leading us into the right direction and you don't even understand it most often on the first view, sometimes not even on the second, but afterwards you always know why it happened that way and what it was good for. So, there's still something. Okay, they're telling me, because what I said in the video before, they said maybe now everybody's coming running to you or to other mediums. Have a look at my astral body. Are there any swords or arrows in there? So, not everybody has that, but lots of people have it. And okay, they're wanting me now to address that. Okay. I also found some of these things in my own astral body, and it's easy to be removed. You can do it yourself. And I will show it now to you how to do this, even if you don't believe in God or higher forces or whatever, or angels who can help you with that. Then just address your own soul and call upon the light in your own soul to remove all the unnecessary blockages and pains and hurts that maybe are overlaps from other lifetimes or by bad energy, bad thoughts, whatever. We call upon the light now to remove all that you don't need on your further soul path here and now. Because old things don't belong into this new, fresh life, and they should stay with the old past life. And we only have these overlaps because we cling to something, some memory, some feeling that we were treated unjust or we were hurt by weapons like the Viking sword with the medieval guy who loved the medieval markets and the fighting with the swords like the Vikings did, or from bad energy from others. Only if your soul needs this as a karmic lesson to grow from it and learn from it, then no one, neither I nor God himself, can remove that from you because you want to learn from it. If I take your lessons away, I'm doing you no good. So don't run to other mediums or to me to get rid of things like that. You can do it yourself. Right now, if you follow me, call upon the light to remove all unnecessary blockages and weapons and things that are in your aura, like bad energy, for the higher good of your soul path. Thanks for the healing, and it's happening right now and will carry on for the next at least 3 days and 3 nights. And they love to work with you at night, because then the ego is sleeping and can't interfere with some thoughts or opinions or false beliefs. So I leave you with that. You can always pray with your own words and call upon all the spiritual help that is there inside yourself as well as outside, and ask them to help you and to remove things that you don't need any longer because they're just hindering. So much for that. Thank you for watching. Blessings onto your soul path. Bye, dear souls.